1 2 3 microphone check. 1 2 3 microphone check. One, two, three, microphone check. One, two, three. Okay, it works. Let's wait for a few minutes. Alright, I think we can start. Hello guys and welcome to my channel QANSIGLIERE. Today I'm not going to coding any stuff. Today I'm going to talk a little bit how to work with negative feedbacks, especially how to accept them if you work as a QA manager. Now I'm going to share my workflow, how I work with feedbacks, and this workflow is based on some historical experience from my side. So let's take a look on the process with negative feedbacks. Let's check two cases. The case number one, it's when you receive a negative feedback about yourself. What you should do in this case. First, our dream in this situation, it's just to punch in face the author of negative feedback, right? Right. But it's actually a wrong reaction on negative feedback. In our case, first of all, you should say thank you for this feedback, because sometimes it's really hard to share some negative news with other people. Second action, what you should do with negative feedback about yourself, is to define details. What was wrong in your results, in your behavior, in your situation. And now we should move to the third one step. Third one step means what you should or accept this negative feedback, or provide your own view on the current situation, and maybe you should bring some additional proofs what you were right, but it was such kind of situation in this case. And in case if you agree with negative feedback, you should improve your behavior, your workflow, your actions. But if you doesn't agree, you can discuss this negative feedback, for instance, with your manager or with your director, because maybe you have opposite view and it should be changed or aligned to the company view and so on. So anyway, if you received any negative feedback about your work, you should discuss it with your boss, actually. Now we should move to the second one case. What to do if you received a negative feedback about your teammate. Usually people accept this feedback and just bring it to teammates. And actually it's really wrong behavior, because such approach can destroy any relationships between you and your team. And if manager will not have a team, you will not be a manager. It's just a label in your job title and that's it. Because your main goal is to save your team and achieve the maximum performance and results in your area of responsibility. So what you need to do in case if you received a negative feedback about your teammates. Step number one, say thank you to the person who shared this negative feedback. Step number two, ask details as much as possible, because you need to define what happened in this current situation and what was wrong. Step number three, ask the person who shared this feedback about his or her expectations. What do they expect in case if this behavior will be changed? Step number 4. Ask the after of the negative feedback what was the goal for this feedback. Because in one case, if you are smart people, you can understand what main idea for negative feedbacks is to improve the process, right? Right. But after 15 years in IT world, I saw several examples where negative feedback was used or for personal vendetta, or for some tricky, dirty games in the company, some kind of Game of Thrones. And this is the main point here. Define the reason why this negative feedback was shared with you, or to improve the situation, or maybe to fire any person by any personal reason. So we received a negative feedback. What we should do in this case? No, we should not bring this negative feedback immediately to the teammate. No, you should investigate what was wrong, what results you had in this situation, and what person did. If you doesn't agree with negative feedback, you should share your investigation results with the author of the feedback and provide your information with him or her. But what we should do in the case if you agree what there was some kind of mistake with teammate. In this case, as a good manager, you should try to improve the situation and maybe change the workflow, maybe start tracking the performance of this particular teammate, or maybe just discuss this situation with your teammate and ask what happened to this guy during this situation. So guys, this is probably it from my side. Feel free to share your view on the situation with negative feedbacks. How you guys personally handle the situation when you received a negative feedback about you or your teammates. Feel free to share your examples in the comments. Like this video. See you guys later.